Yeah, you caught me dancing because I didn't expect to be up on the screen. I messed that up. I wanted to show you guys the background. So since we only have 1 or 2 people in, let me do that. That was very unexpected. I'll be right back. Okay. Hello, my beautiful gemstones, and welcome to Afternoon Talk with myself and Ghostdragonzw. Miss Paranormal Pixie, hello, beautiful. So good to see you. Miss Julie Girl, I'm here. So glad you're here. Yeah, so just our regular Tuesday afternoon show. And I don't know what Steven's saying in the background. What's up, Casey? So, guys, I want to stop that. Stop. He's distracting me, guys. You don't know what I put up with, okay? You think he's a nice little tame dragon, but you have no idea. What's up, Smoochy Girl? So I want to share something with you guys that I'm really excited about. My new book that I've been trying to promote like crazy, Danger at Your Door, Encounters with the Black-Eyed Kids, is a #1 new release on Amazon today. So that means you guys have been purchasing it. If you bought it once you're through with it, give me a good review and maybe 5 stars. I'm just saying. It's really exciting for me because the last time this happened, when the book went bestseller, I had, written it, but Steve had written the forward and we put his name on it because I really wanted that bestseller. His name is no longer on that book, but this one is like just me, all me, on me. And it's even more exciting because of that. And I'm writing right now. Actually, I have another tab open where I'm writing for the companion book, going through all of the encounters and seeing which ones I want to include. Thank you so much. Pammy Smith, what's up, girl? Let me bring in the ghost dragons and then we'll get started.
Hello. How's everybody? Doodles. I'm driving our notes today.
Thank you, Mrs. Jules. I changed it like 4 times. Dave is like one of my heroes and he does exactly what I would like to eventually do. So I get really nervous around him, even though he's like a big teddy bear guy. He's so sweet and so kind. But I do get nervous. So I was like, well, I want to look good. And then I had the blonde. I went through like 4 wigs last night. My actual hair, I wanted to do like my actual hair, but it was a mess because it's always up in a messy bun. Thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. They're all off Temu, guys, all of my little headpieces, and they're all less than, I would say they're all less than $17. So
she likes Temu too much. She had me looking at Temu and I found something for her. And now I got to decide if I want to get them or not.
They're really cool. They're really cool looking for sure.
You liked the butterflies, didn't you? That was the one you liked the most, didn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Who doesn't, butterflies that like, they're like these black boots and they have like a chunky heel, guys. And then, but when they come up with the laces, they have like a big colorful butterfly that goes halfway around your leg, right? Little bit, like maybe 2 inches below the knee. So, multifaceted jewels. If you want an autographed copy of any of my books, just send me money for the book and postage, which I normally say $20 to PayPal or Cash App. Or if you have Venmo, you can send it to Ghost Dragons. I had a lot of copies of the second book left over from the book signing, but by now, that was over a year ago, I sold or gave all of them. I don't even have a copy of that for myself. This is actually Ghost Dragon's copy. Because I self-published this time, I'm not getting like author's copies. So I have to purchase every book that I get too. So I have my Kindle version. I'm good with that because it does go with Kindle Unlimited, or you can buy it at Kindle for $3.99, or the book itself is $13.99. So yeah, really excited. Yeah, PayPal, Cash App, or like I said, if you don't have those, oh, you do have PayPal. Yeah, so if you send the $20, just write like book or text me that it's for a book, just so I know what it's for, because readings are also $20. And if you guys don't put that, I get confused. I do have your address now, the right and proper way. I believe you did get your Christmas card. I sent to you and one to Samantha, I hope, because we had a big problem when I sent Jules a spiritual helper box. I had rewritten because a few people had moved and I had all cross outs, and I'm like OCD with that. So I said, let me rewrite all these addresses. And her address, I forgot to put one of the numbers. Oops. So for example, like I wrote 67 and her address is 267. That's not actually her address, but that's what happened. And she's like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to do. They're insured, but I don't know how to track them. But eventually I believe she got it. Miss Paranormal Pixie, I hooked you up. I'm emailing all of your information like we talked about, because he said it would be easier for him to like go through. So that's going to be really exciting. And, you know, anything you need, Steven and I are always here to support you. I feel comfortable speaking for him on that one. Overall, good day. I got, you know, I have a little bit of writer's block.
Maybe I'll knock it into you.
Not really writer's. I don't know if this is considered writer's block, where I just sit at the computer and I know what I want to write and I can write it and I can bang it out, but I just stare.
You just can't get it out.
And I'm like, oh, I can watch YouTube instead. Like my motivation is gone, I think, because of what happened with my contract being terminated so suddenly and me being left without any income besides YouTube. And I think
for a loop.
It threw me for a loop for about a week. But with everything going on with the book, I have you guys who are so amazing for supporting me and all the support you give me and all the love. And then I have my mentor behind the scenes working his butt off helping me out. Yeah. Yes, post the PayPal and book links. Sure. Let me get I'm going to go in and post from my phone because I do have affiliate links. I have affiliate links for the book, which means not only will I get my money from the book, the percentage, but I will get a small percentage, a kickback from Amazon if you use those specific links. Steven, if you could post the PayPal, I'll grab the affiliate links right now.
Okay.
Hi, Mark Barnett signing.
What was that?
And I have been including the affiliate link for the Black Eyed Kid book in the recent videos. Starting next Monday, when the members video and the regular video comes out, it'll be the affiliate links for all of them. Which just, you know, it's that little more cushion. I'm trying to bring in income any way that I can. I lost a huge chunk.
Yeah,
but it's okay because I feel like that happened because I never would have been able to do whatever comes next while having that commitment. So it's like something big's coming in, something major's coming in. And had I had this huge commitment of 6 to 8 hours a day of ghostwriting, I never would have been able to accept whatever this is. Stevie B, thank you for coming in.
Hello, Stevie B. How's Mog doing?
Do you guys know each other?
Yes, Stevie B and Mongolian Monster stream together on Tuesday and Thursdays, right? I usually catch you guys both streams, but I watch so much.
Guys, don't forget.
Good to see you, Stevie B.
Guys, please don't forget the first 3 books, so not the Black Eyed Kid book yet, but Missing the Faith Theory, Encounters with Evil, 101 True and Terrifying Stories, and Shadow Entity, Sleep Paralysis and Beyond are available on Audible. All right, I'm going in to post the links now, and then hopefully we can get chatting about the paranormal.
Paranormal? What's that?
So this is that is the affiliate link for Encounters with Evil. This is the affiliate link for Black Eyed Kids. And I will put them all in the description box as well. After this ends, I'll go back and I will do that. Which one did I do first? I believe this is Missing the Faith Theory. And next is Shadow Entities, Sleep Paralysis, and Beyond. Those are the affiliate Amazon links to all of my books. If you go to those links, you should be able to also find the Kindle. Yes, chatting about the paranormal in book form. Guys, I can believe it because I've been trying to manifest it for this to be a #1 new release and eventually a bestseller. And the companion book is going to be epic because this one, the chapters are the beginning, connections to other Black entities, the hybrid theory, daytime encounters, white-eyed kids, the demon theory, pre-existing connections to the supernatural. Are they interdimensional? Not everyone can see them. It's like she was stuck on repeat, which I read for my members. BEKs in the woods, black-eyed adults, black-eyed kids, and mysterious deaths. Have you had an encounter? Halloween encounters, tulpas and thought forms, and final thoughts and encounters. So there's a lot there, right? A lot to this book. But the companion book that's coming out on February 13th is going to be just encounters, because I know encounters are my favorite thing. They were my favorite part of any book that I read. And even before I started researching for the book, when I looked up Black-eyed Kids, I wanted the encounters. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to know what people went through.
The encounters.
What's up, Mark?
Hello,
I didn't specifically pull everyone out and say hi this morning or this afternoon. I think, did I? I don't even remember. So yeah, that's it
was a good show last night.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. I watched the guy after me. Well, I listened as I started falling asleep. And it really was. I had so much that I wanted to say. I had so many encounters in the back of my head, but I was nervous, and I get nervous in interviews because I'm awfully chatty. And like,
if I didn't show up,
when I'm with Wade and Michelle, it's different because like they're my friends and I'm more comfortable. But with someone like Dave Schrader, like I said, to me, he is like,
next echelon.
The it guy in the hierarchy of the paranormal. And so it does make me a little nervous. Lady Blind Wolf, welcome. Guys, Live Intuitive Oracle will be on Saturday this weekend. I'll be doing it from Monmouth. I'm helping her move. But we have to do Oracle. We cannot miss Oracle. So anybody who's new who came in, this is just an afternoon talk. Literally, we sometimes discuss the paranormal, sometimes we discuss things and stuff, but I do a pre-recorded upload concerning the paranormal, the supernatural, otherworldly type stuff every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Ghost Dragons has his own streams. Then we do Live Intuitive Oracle on Friday. I do like to bring this chat into speaking about the paranormal whenever I can, but normally it's you guys who kind of have to
just start like talking me on about Wednesday nights. I just let them chat, and then whatever flies.
What do you guys want to float out there today? There's a lot going on. There is the Black-eyed kids in general.
I had a rough day yesterday. I want to say something. I had a rough day yesterday. And I ended up at the hospital to get a shot. And Doc had to beat me there. While I was at the hospital, he showed up again. This time, the black-eyed kid that I see. I chased him around for a half hour one day when I was there.
Probably because we've been talking about them so much.
It was weird because I think Giles saw him, but I'm not sure because he kept looking out the door.
So if you guys don't know what Ghost Dragons is talking about, in one of my listener encounters, we discussed his many hospitalizations or just going to the hospital to visit others. He sees black-eyed kids in the hospital. Now, the reason I didn't include your encounter specifically in this book, weird. Well, no, I wanted to include it in the companion book because I just thought it would give more to that book. But I just feel like at this point, and I know this is going to sound it's not going to sound good and I'm going to get hell for it, but how could you not believe at this point? Like, I'm a physical medium. I've seen and dealt with almost every type of entity, but I've never, thank the Lord, had to deal with this one. But I still, I have a really hard time not believing in so many separate people across the world who have no connection with each other. And that's what I really wanted to impress upon the people that read this book, the non-believers specifically, is that how do you go from like 15th century and before, native tribes from the beginning of time that have drawn about these entities, that have built statues with obsidian eyes? What about their connection to their eyes with extraterrestrials? They're the same black, glassy, shark-like eyes. Lady Blind Wolf says, I've been doing a lot of videos on the dark history of my state and going to do some paranormal history. Lady Blind Wolf, what is your channel? Is it Lady Blind Wolf? Because I will go on over there and subscribe.
And I'll also post the link for you.
You know, it's funny because I've wanted to, Ghost Dragons, that would be really nice. Let us know your channel, and Ghost Dragons will post the link. Guys, go on over and subscribe. Lady Blind Wolf's in here. Even if it's her first time, she's a gemstone. So Paranormal Pixie, I agree. I believe my husband does that a lot. Some people have so much fear, they have blinders on. I don't know if it's really with him specifically. I think a lot of people, you're absolutely right. I think with him, it's just like, it's like that older generation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I told you guys, if I were to call my dad right now, multifaceted Jules, hold that thought, honey. If I were to call my dad right now and be like, Daddy, when I saw you, 2 months ago, there was an addiction demon attached to you. Like, you've got to get some help. He would be like, stop with all of your BS, right? Like, I hate when you talk about that. Get away from me with that stuff. But then if I were to call him and say, Daddy, I had a dream about grandma. She said she was worried about you. He would be like, oh my gosh, my deceased mother appeared to my daughter in a dream. I've got to get some help. Do you know what I'm saying? I was saying, Lady Blind Wolf, it's funny because in my state, I try to do dark history, but because I live in New Jersey, 99% of what I get is weird history and the Jersey Devil. Jersey Devil, Clinton Road, which is known to locals more as Annie's Road. And I do discuss that legend in my second book. So Jules asked a question, do any of the BEK encounters have missing time? Not any that I've come across throughout hundreds of encounters, but almost across the board, encounters with white-eyed kids have missing time. And it has people where they're in the woods. One of them will be either compelled to walk off or will just be walking around on their own, going on ahead. They won't remember it at all. They'll be maybe lost for a little bit, or if they're alone, it'll be like they're in one place and in another and don't even realize it until like 3 months later. They'll be like, wait a minute, I had that conversation with that weird person in the woods, but I've never seen anyone remember what the conversation was. And I want to say quick, because I know, Stephen, you want to weigh in on this. For me, with the Men in Black, I used to think they were ETs. I honestly do think that they are sleeper cell people. I believe the Men in Black are, I don't know if it's for extraterrestrials, if they work for the government. I believe they're so weird, not across the board. I think some are government. I think some are ET, but I think there are some that are regular, like, say, Ghost Dragons here. He, in the middle of the night, someone whispers something in his ear and he jumps up and he goes and threatens some witnesses. It sounds ridiculous, but if you really think about it, and if you watch the video I did on an alternate theory to the Men in Black, it does make sense, man. Nick Redfern, I think, was the first one to come up with that. Lady Blind Wolf says all the death in hospitals and some people don't die in a very nice way. It makes sense. Yeah, as a medium too, like I have to go once a month. I'm in recovery. I'm not shy about saying it. I like to recover out loud in case anyone else is struggling, but I have to go once a month to a huge hospital. Ghost Dragons, you've been there with me. And even with my ability to kind of shut myself down and shut all that out, I still have a really hard time not seeing spirit, not hearing spirit, not seeing the attachments, because the amount of death in that specific facility has been so massive. It used to be called Bergen Pines, and it was a mental institution back in the day. I'm talking way back in the days of like lobotomies, and you could lock your wife up because she didn't cook your dinner properly, like that type stuff. Dark in Indiana. they say that Illinois is the place that you are most likely to be haunted, like to not to be haunted, but to live in a haunted house. It's the most haunted state right now, or at least in the last 6 months in 2023, Illinois. That's crazy because Jersey, we have the Pine Barrens. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, love.
Oh, you didn't say you were good. As for Jules' question, when I see the black-eyed kid in the hospitals, I have seen him outside the hospital too. Don't get me wrong, but anyways, I've never had any of the stories that I've ever heard. Nobody's experienced any kind of missing time. It's usually a moment kind of thing where it happens and they are like, what just happened? I have a friend that's from Australia, and he told me a black-eyed kid story of a neighbor next to him that had them show up at his door, and they were persistent about getting in the house. He actually had to call the police to come and remove them from the yard. But when the police got there, they were gone. But as soon as the police came, they just kind of stood. After the police left, later that night, he looked out the window, and they were just standing in his front yard. So he thinks that he was picked for some reason because they weren't bothering nobody else. Everybody else was home, but why were they picking on him? And he felt like there was a reason.
I wrote, and I'm like, guys, remind me because I need to comment. And you guys know I will forget and get distracted in a minute. The thing with your BEK encounters and encounters like that, I wonder often if they're the same entity everyone else is seeing. I have seen demonic spirits posing as children that look like black-eyed kids. Now, the one in the hospital, I do believe could be a genuine BEK. They're feeding off all of the energy, all of the fear, all of the death. Weird. But the other things that you described to me, they just don't fit the profile of a BEK. Like black-eyed kids approach you usually when you're alone or the other person is sleeping and the other person can't be woken up. Normally, they disappear into thin air or they get into, I have several encounters that will be in the encounter, the companion book, the encounter book, where they were seen, and I'm talking 5 or 6 encounters, guys, out of like 30. So that's, quite a few, and if you average it out, that have gotten into those sleek, old-fashioned black vehicles like the MIB and the WIB are said to drive. Now, if you don't know what the WIB are, the women in black, I've done a few videos on them. Dutchfly61, welcome. Nutslap, hey.
Hello.
According to Quo, the MIB are fifth dimensional beings from Orion, not positive. Well, that is very possible. I have never encountered an MIB. I would love to, because I would love to look at their energy. Usually the energy of the being is how I can know what dimension they're from, where they're from, if they're interdimensional. Lady Blind Wolf, don't worry about it at all. My nails make me make such massive mistakes anyway. But what are your thoughts about there being a rise in paranormal activity, or is it simply we're more connected thanks to the internet? So I do have a twofold thought on that, and then Ghost Dragons, I'd like to hear yours. So first of all, Nutslap, that could very well be. I know they're not positive. I know that for an absolute fact. And I do believe some of them are extraterrestrial. I believe some of them are the government who jumped on this bandwagon of people being afraid of the men in black. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we can go intimidate people if we dress in black suits and act weird. I do think it's that too. You think they're not going to jump on an opportunity to silence witnesses. But Miss Pixie, I think it's both. I think we're all more connected, so we're noticing it more. Like, I don't believe the Glimmer Man is a recent entity. I believe it's ancient. And I believe it's extraterrestrial. I believe there are several, but I believe it's extraterrestrial for the most part. But it's just that we are now able to share our experiences more easily, very easily. I have mentioned this a few times before, where if you think about all of the centuries, all right, so Miss Pixie, you would know this fairly well. When you mess around with things like Ouija boards, divining rods, you're messing with something you don't know. Like Ouija boards specifically, I always tell you guys, I've been properly trained. It took me like 2 years, and I still don't like to mess with them. As a medium and just as a human being, it's no good.
news.
Think about, we're in 2024. Since the beginning of time, basically, people have been messing with this stuff, opening portals, not knowing how to close them because they don't even know they're opening them. Now, with all of these years past of people doing this, how many people you think do it daily? Okay, how many people you think do it every day, and how many new people are starting to do it today for the first time? All of those portals being just open to let anything and everything out and through,
and not being closed properly.
It is catching up with us.
And the veil's lifting too, and thinning at the same time. So not only are we starting to see the other side, it's starting to let some of it out. And I really believe that.
It's starting to bleed into our reality, where I feel like more light workers like us are being activated. Do you remember that time in stream where suddenly people just activated? I was reading Oracle, and all of a sudden, like 5 people that were in the chat, there was about 40 or 50 in there at the time. This was back when I would get like a ton. I couldn't even keep up with the readings. Thank goodness that slowed down. But 5 or 6 people all of a sudden were like, holy crap, what is going on? They were suddenly seeing auras on the people sitting across from them. And I believed them because they were all separately messaging me about it. And only some of them put it in chat, right? And when I followed up with them afterwards, it's like their abilities had just been activated randomly. That is happening every single day. Mark, good to see you. I hope you feel well. Have a great day. And I feel like that's why that's happening. It's happening because of our energy in reaction to all of the lower vibrational stuff that's just bleeding through, pouring out of these portals. And then you have the people that are purposefully opening them.
People don't stop to think about. Oh, I'm sorry. Some people don't stop. Okay. Some people don't stop to think about. You got to remember, over the last 5 years, paranormal channels on YouTube and on television have become massively big. You don't think them televising that stuff all day long doesn't do something too? Because it opens people's minds. Even the ones that watch it skeptically are still seeing, they're still participating.
Right. They're still, their energy is still focused on it. Sure.
Yes.
It's a great point. Eventually it all catches up with us. And I always tell you guys the other side, whatever you want to call it, as far as the light realm, I call it heaven. That's just my preference, is not above. Okay. It's not above. It is about 3 inches from where our feet hit the ground. It is there in a different dimension. So it's all around us. So of course we're going to get some bleed through. And a lot of the reason, yes, Nutslap, we will. A lot of the reason for my opinion about linear time not being linear is because I believe a lot of the time when people think they're seeing ghosts, they're actually just accidentally glimpsing an alternate timeline in a different dimension, not an energetic dimension like the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, whatever, but an actual earthly dimension where people are going about their lives occupying the same exact space. Sometimes there are these rifts, and it really depends on your energy, how you connect with everything. I mean, people always, skeptics in my life will snicker when I use the word energy. And I've actually had it thrown back at me recently where someone mocked me for it. I said something and they're like, I don't know, I guess it's just the energy, but they didn't mean it. They meant it to mock me. Yes. But if you think about it, what else do you call it? What's up, Roger? So go ahead, Ghost Dragons, take on the Miami aliens, because honestly, I don't watch TV or the news, and I got to look up what it is.
Look it up, because you're going to giggle your butt. But the thing is, and I didn't mean to sound so loud there. Here's the deal. I have been watching this situation from the beginning. There is something going on there. That many cops do not show up for a bunch of kids shooting fireworks off and getting a little rowdy. And they call it a mall, but basically it's an outside strip mall. And people complain, please shut up. But if you look at the video, there's like 60 police cars there. They didn't need that many cars for those kids. Though if you watch the entire videos and you watch all the ones that are out there, that shows the kids, being moved around from street to street. Now, there's some video of something pasted in front of the mall that looks like it's rather large, where if you do a synopsis of it and do a video, you check it all out, it's really just an average sized person, and the lights are making it, all the police lights are deforming it. But there's another video out where this thing is crawling across that street and up in that area. That I think is fake. But there was definitely something weird going on there. And you don't have that many police officers unless they were worried about the kids were going to start to riot. But you really got to go back and look at all the information, all the videos that are out there. But personally, I think there was more. I don't know if it was an alien, but there was definitely something going on that they are trying to cover up.
Damn it. I had something I wanted to say. And I see if I don't interrupt, I will forget. Oh, if any of you guys see, that would be something I would want to watch with y'all in a live stream and react to, or do a reaction video. I really want to start doing reaction videos on my channel, not to like political stuff, but to things like this. The thing is, guys, I don't know how to do that. I use Luma Fusion Editor on a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. I do have this. I have the camera you bought me. My aunt bought me this really cool face tracking phone stand that, like, it'll follow me around the room. So anyway, I use Luma Fusion right now. If any of you guys know how to do that, please let me know, because I would love to watch those videos with you guys. I don't know how it's covered with copyright through reactions, but there is a way you can do it without getting in trouble. And I would have to find that out too, but I could do that on my end. Thank you. Thank you, Smoochie. I will be changing the background back to the fairy forest or the moon that you got me years ago that I never actually used because I forgot about it until I cleaned out, because I have everything everywhere. My house, I cleaned out this little like bottom part of my dresser and I found it and I was like, oh my gosh, I never even, Blue Crossroads, you're being summoned. Pandemic and all the people passing. There's just, there's so much going on right now in our world. And I do kind of feel bad for non-believers because it's like, I just don't know how you can be, but being a medium, I guess that's easy for me to say. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously I believe, do you know what I mean? So someone like my husband, he's a boomer. He doesn't, I'm sure he has abilities, but he would never even think to try to use them because he doesn't believe in it. And it's like, well, what do you think happens? The mushroom forest, I should have that back soon. That's in my mom's attic and I have to help her move. I'm sorry, I interrupted my own thought. I couldn't hang that at my mom's house because she wouldn't let me put even like thumbtacks in her wall. I had to use those hooks that have like the glue in the back of them, and it was so heavy it pulled it down. But thank you for reminding me, because I did love that one, and it was big enough too to cover behind me instead of the tiny ones. Lost my thought, but I don't know, I feel like something's coming, guys, and
something is coming, and I honestly believe that, and it's really building to that. Now when it comes, we don't know. But
I'm talking about,
I'm talking about
the
paranormal.
You didn't even hear what I said. You're like, I'm talking about that too.
Okay. Holy. Oh, I can't stand up.
No, you're in your underwear again, aren't you? If you guys didn't know, he live streams in his underwear. I'm just saying. No, I mean, in the power, I know there's a lot coming, like as far as our world, but I'm sure you did mean the same thing with, I mean, in the paranormal community, like something is coming. Yes. And yes, Miss Pixie, you're very sensitive. You would definitely, and I think people who are sensitive but won't acknowledge it or don't understand what it is are walking around with major anxiety, possibly some paranoia, and they don't understand where it's coming from. And it's that they're being called to their light. They're being activated, but they don't know what to do with it. And that is why, like, of course, like I want to not have to worry about being financially stable. But a lot of the reason I do YouTube and I put so much work into my content and into my brand and into my everything is to make enough money to get a spiritual retreat. I want to open one, and I'm just going to call it Gemstones or something to that effect. But that way people like that can also come and see what it's about and see the spiritual side of it, not religious, the spiritual, you know, and get to learn. I can tell someone's ability usually just by looking at them and talk to them and have someone that specializes in that ability and what to do with it and how to use it and how to process it working at the retreat. Guys, this is my dream. It is a part of my 10-year plan, which is now a 9-year plan, coming up on an 8-year plan. But I'm getting there. You know, I just want to help. I hate that you didn't get a notification because I specifically sent the notification out 2 minutes before we started.
That's the problem I'm seeing with the notification. Before we end, she posted some new memes.
Okay. I was looking yesterday. Mama Cindy, welcome, by the way. Aunt Edna. Got your book ordered. Aunt Edna, thank you. I just did a short and I told everyone, Danger at Your Door Encounters with Black-Eyed Kids is number one. It's a number one new release on Amazon today. So I'm super excited. And I would not have been able to do that without you guys purchasing it. So after you read it, if you don't like it, let me know privately. But if you did really like it and enjoy it, give me some stars, 5 stars, preferably. And please leave me a good review. It really, really helps. Believe it or not, because it helps push the book out. I just can't believe so many people ordered it. My last book, I wasn't able to do as much promotion. I had so much going on personally, and there was a big rift happening in my professional life as well, honestly, through no fault of my own, where every interview I got was being canceled on me. So I wasn't able to push that book out. So that book really didn't sell, even though it was about shadow entities, and it's not like the market's saturated. So I'm going to be pushing that book too. But I knew this one would do well because there's not a lot out there. Yeah. Not a lot of respectable content. You've got David Weatherly, you've got Nick Redfern, amazing. I look up to them, and I did go to them for some like resource checking and making sure that like whatever encounters I used that they had also used, I got them right. And just for like their overall opinions to get a feel of what's out there. But there's not much more to like out there to the Black-Eyed Kids except random stories online. Witches have been feeling and saying it for years. Yeah.
Well,
yes, Miss Pixie, it definitely was.
About something big coming on. I think it's going to be in the paranormal world first, but I don't think it's going to be UFOs or aliens. Actually, I think it's going to be cryptid related. That's going to be exposed first. Either Bigfoot they're going to catch him or find a body, and somebody's going to find a body. Something's going to happen. I'm not saying it could be a dog man, but I see it happening in the cryptid world first. I think the UFO thing, a lot of people know my opinions on that anyways, but I think when that happens, you're going to know because it's going to happen after certain events happen. And when those certain events happen, it's going to give them the impression that, okay, maybe we can talk more about this thing, which is the UFO. Even though UFO is big conversation right now, I think they know a lot, but I don't think they know as much as we think they know. They still have a lot of unanswered questions.
And I believe they're spreading misinformation on purpose. I talked about this on Pitch Chat with Wade and Michelle when I was saying how I believe they're going to try to start using disclosure as a control mechanism.
Right.
So not the members only, because that was listener encounters, the pre-recorded upload that I put out yesterday at 11 a.m. Eastern, I do it every week. I was surprised to see low views on that because I took files directly from NUFORC, which is the National UFO Reporting Center, from back before the internet, where people had nowhere to go to discuss what was happening to them. And I think I did 11 cases that I pulled right from NUFORC of things just to show you, like, it's been happening for so long. It's been being ignored for so long. Things like the Phoenix Lights. how are we not, like, how was that not such a big deal? And I even said, I mean, at the time it was, but
yeah, and
it's
then
like
it just
forgotten about
disappeared.
now.
And
And then
then
all of like these other things that happen, I think I even said it in the video multiple times. I'm like, how did this not even hit the media the next day? I mean,
right.
I was only 13 years old in 1996, but you think I would have heard about it.
Oh yeah.
No, like it didn't even hit local news when people were seeing these things happening.
Right.
It's insane. Smoochy USOs, yeah, I've been talking about those for years, and I
Underwater.
get laughed at a lot because I do believe, but I go a little further with my speculation about that, and it is only speculation. I have no proof. It's just my opinion and my ideas. But I believe that a lot of the time, see, we basically know, most of us in the community, or at least we think, that time works differently outside of Earth, right? So they say like some people may have gotten kidnapped from UFOs, but we'll never know because 80 years here, it'll be 150 years here and they've only spent 2 years out there. So how is it possible that people think they're being taken up into outer space in spaceships? If time works so differently, they have to be bringing them somewhere here. And I believe they're bringing them, one of the places is under the ocean, under super deep lakes. I don't believe for a second, like, you cannot convince me that USOs aren't a thing. You cannot convince me that unidentified submerged objects, okay, that they're not extraterrestrial in nature. There have been people that have said, we went down into the ocean and I saw towns and cities of gold, like beautiful cities. And
More and more people are seeing strange lights in the water now too.
yes,
And, there's a
absolutely.
video out right now. I think Mr. BB3 has one, or somebody has one, where these guys are on a boat and they're literally watching a blue. It was a green light and it had a red light under the surface. You could see this green light moving around, and then you could see like two reddish lights underneath the green light. So it was definitely an object. It was definitely a machine. And then there's another one of these guys in a fishing boat, and they come across this big, huge blue glow in the water, and they thought it was algae, but it was so weird because it looked like it was a light. It didn't look like algae. And then they noticed something swimming in this light. It actually surfaces and looks like a head, and then you see it dive back down. It's weird. I'll have to find those and send them to you, Gemma.
Yeah, please do. So, Miss Smoochie, yes. And there's so much evidence that not only Atlantis, but Lemuria at least existed. And now people are coming forward where it might still exist, just in a different dimension. A lot of people, I believe, when they're from, see, I don't know this for sure. I could have my lingo wrong. You guys know I only got involved in the UFO stuff in the past like year and a half, maybe even a little less. But I think there's something that they are called souls that come here as light workers to help the collective. Like, you think there's not a single one among us, just the gemstones from in here and in our live streams that aren't from Atlantis or Lemuria, that didn't come here to make sure that the same thing that we have down in our history that happened allegedly doesn't happen again? Like, absolutely. I think they're called star seeds, but then I think star seed is just an extraterrestrial in a human body, but it's all spiritual. Star seed. Okay, so I was right. It's all spiritual and energetic. And I know with the Galactic Federation, there was nobody used actual language. And there's so much about them using telepathy. Nobody, they don't really have to eat. I watched this guy. I wish I could remember his name. I saw it on Beyond Belief with George Norrie on the Gaia Network. He was talking about how he had this very high up government position. And I'll have to watch it again and like write down a few more details. And his name is Emery something. Emery is his first name. So if you see Beyond Belief with Emery so-and-so, there's a couple episodes, but the one he was talking about how he had to spend the night in a spaceship and work among extraterrestrials, and people scoffed at him and mocked him, but not the people in this community. Because the people in this community were like, oh, like for me, I was like, interesting. And he talked about the technology on these ships, and he talked about the ETs that he worked in tandem with, and he talked about, you know, having to call his wife and be like, I've got to work overnight, when really he's in a dang spaceship. Multifaceted Jules, no. And that's the problem really for the collective, is what I was talking about before, kind of connects to it, is that so many non-believers are starseeds. Like, everybody has a light in them. It's just whether or not they choose to use it and work with it. Now, if you come here specifically to do that, 98% of the time you do, but there's still that 2% of people that have no awareness of it at all and that aren't using it, walking around with anxiety, being diagnosed with schizophrenia. I'm not saying schizophrenia or mental illness doesn't exist. I'm just saying in some cases, right? It is people who have this extra awareness, but they have no idea what to do with it.
Right.
They
don't
just
have
don't
to deal with it.
Right. But they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, if you didn't know that these were headphones, you know, if you're a time traveler from 1970, you're going to open this up and be like, okay, and just put it to the side. And that's like my analogy with light workers. It's like, oh, I'm a light worker. Great. That's where I want my retreat to come in. That's where I want my channel to come in, to bring more people to their own light. Wasn't Emery the doctor guy saying we already have the cure for cancer, but it's in an underground basis?
They've had it for some time.
Emery Smith, I believe, is his name, actually. Emery Smith. That one episode, I will find out the name of it. It's on the Gaia Network. It's a must watch. And I think Gaia does a free trial as well.
I wanted to say something real quick before. I didn't want to break your train of thought. Going back to time difference. I don't know if Chris is watching, but I've been watching Monarch. That's, you know, the Godzilla series. They entered Hollow Earth, and Kurt Russell plays one of the characters, and he's, you know, he's supposed to be like 96 years old. When he went into Hollow Earth, when he came out, he was still young, and 20 years had passed. And I thought that was an interesting concept, to go in Earth and there be a time difference too, because you're closer to the core. I just thought that was an interesting concept, because he really goes in the Earth and then comes out 20 years later. He hasn't changed one bit, and he freaks out because, you know, he's watching the space shuttle take off in 1982, and he was gone. He's been gone since like 1965. I thought that was a really cool concept.
Definitely relates back to what we were talking about. And I would think more about that statement. She said, LOL, I'm just an opinionated old broad who's seen some wacky stuff. I know nothing. I think if you really focus, I know you've got so much going on. You know way more than what's in the front of your mind. And we all do. And that's what activation is. Like my mom is an energetic healer. She comes from, you know, natives ancient to this, you know, this land, and she just doesn't want anything to do with it. It scares her. She doesn't want to see these things that I see. She doesn't want to. She'll discuss it, you know, with people she trusts. And I had her and Damien on a long time ago to come on for my birthday, and I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. On the other show I used to do with the other person, they came on and they discussed some of their experiences, but she just doesn't want to deal. She's like, what year is it? 2024. So July, she's 62 years old, and she's just like, I just don't want anything to do with it. But her whole life, she's known there was something different. And that's not like a little kid who, you know, feels lonely. This is like that ingrained feeling that I'm sure most, if not all of you have had, that you are other, right? We joke the island of misfits toys, but seriously, and that's because most of us are, you know. I can tell an earth angel, I can tell mostly when a person's on their last life here, like last incarnation. Jules, me when I was a child, I hated to get in trouble. I was the hero child for sure. And I was always very, very smart and very, very aware and also very quiet. Believe it or not, I was very, very quiet because I just was observing, things that were scary. I was observing, and I'm very open and outgoing and talkative with you guys. But if any one of you would meet me in real life, I would probably come off at first as very, very awkward, shy, quiet, and possibly even put off. A lot of people always think I'm angry with them or I don't like them. It's just my energy is not comfortable around other people's. And I believe that is because of my specific gift or ability and where I'm from, which I still don't know. German Pride. Good morning, Miss Diane. She is definitely a unicorn. So many of us are. Miss Tennille's daughter as well, Carson. She is same thing, completely different energies, and I believe they would have much different abilities if you were to put Carson and Samantha together, but they are both exceptional in their light and in their ability. And I believe they probably will both have an exceptionally hard time being human and living on this earth because of they're vibrating so much higher than everyone else around them that it's impossible to connect or feels impossible to connect, which is why we have to teach them and bring them into this community. I was finally able to read for Carson. Tennille had commissioned me to read not only for her, but for Carson as well. And I was so glad. And you got to see the cards this girl pulled. I wouldn't personally speak about her reading, but every single card I pulled for her had to do with her being called into her light work, into her life mission right now. And I bet it would be the same for Samantha. It was about things that were going on spiritually with her. There was like nothing like life, like this is what's going on in your job, your love life. No, it was all spiritual. And that doesn't happen often.
I'm just going to say it instead of typing it. Hey, Nutslap, I got the book right after I watched the show last night, Monarch last night. I got to learn more. And that was one of the first ones that popped up.
Moochie girl, I don't believe it for a second. Ghost Dragons, finishing thoughts, last thoughts?
Well, you want to see these memes before we leave?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't, those people on here don't do Facebook, so they'll probably.
Let's do it.
Okay, here's the first one. Let me share it. I think you saw this one, but I'm not sure.
I wish we could show the one with the Release the Dragon song.
I know that song was perfect for that one.
First of all, your picture. I just can't. So, Miss Cindy, I can never thank you enough for these. Again, the fact that you take your time out of your day to do these.
I think I can actually play this one. It's just them talking, and it's really short.
Please don't. Okay. Because I just don't want to risk it with how YouTube is. YouTube ruins the fun. But we can do it on Rumble later on. Yes, we can do them on Rumble. So Miss Cindy did one where it was the Grinch with high-heeled boots walking a dragon with my face. And the song was talking about, you don't want to make me release the dragon. So if you're on my Facebook, go check it out because I did reshare it. I was dying when I saw that one. The song was just perfection. Perfection.
Hold on. I'm looking for the other one real quick. Come on.
Did anyone see the name of Lady Blind Wolf's channel, by the way? I told her I'd
go over and Lady Blind Wolf. It's Lady Blind Wolf. I did Lady Blind Wolf, and I did put her link in the chat.
And Ghost Dragons, if you can grab the affiliate links, because I have a lot of work I have to finish up, and I only have an hour and 15 minutes to do it. Can you grab the affiliate links from the chat and put them in the description box?
Yes, I can do that later. Yes.
Yeah, you don't have to. No, yeah, not right now, but later.
Yes, I
That way,
will.
everyone has them, and I'll just copy them and start putting them in the uploads. By request, Monday's upload will be rock stars and mysterious curses, and I threw in on the end there a couple of deals with the devil by musicians. Short story. Oh, short. Oh, thank you. And scars to your beautiful. You know, I was just feeling it. I needed to feel better about myself, and I knew that doing that would not only help me, but you guys too. And yeah. Oh my god. Now on Rumble, when we start live streaming, Mama Cindy, we'll be able to bring these over and play the whole thing.
Yes, hold on. There's that one. This one's
My
hilarious.
5-year-old gets such a kick out of these. He thinks it's so funny. Thank you, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed that one. I did get a lot more likes on that one than any of the others, so I was hoping that you guys enjoyed it. Hate when people use I wrote underneath I don't know, or maybe it's just people with the name Cindy. I don't know. I did respond to that one. Get the feeling, Gemma, your shorts are therapeutic. I think for me they definitely are. So when I do a certain song, I'm feeling it, or I'm just feeling goofy or fun or funny, and I know a lot of times it seems like it comes out of nowhere, like what is she doing? Those ones are usually for me. And then I do the rest of them for you guys, which is why I don't leave comments on. Thank you, Roger.
The one.
All right, we've got to, while you do that, let me say what I need to say. So Ghost Dragons and I are both wearing Gemma Jade merch today. Guys, she is going to change the design on that one. I have to get her pictures. She's been waiting like a month. Arisha is a saint. I mean, thank goodness for her. The little gems are already falling off my nails, but there are aliens on there. So go over and get you some merch if you don't have any. The design will be changing soon, as long as I can get her the right sort of photo. Again, it's not about money. Everything's super cheap over there. I just wanted to push my brand out. What's up, Carl? Yes, Miss Smoochie. I knew you'd like that one. Gunpowder and lead. There are a few of you. Like, I know who's going to like what. Also, guys, if you didn't pick it up yet, Kindle and paperback, Danger at Your Door, Encounters with Black-Eyed Kids, Shadow Entities, Sleep Paralysis, and Beyond. This one is now a #1 new release on Amazon, and that is all thanks to you guys. Smoochy, I'll be doing more Miranda Lambert for sure, like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I love that one, and I've been thinking about that one for a while, so it's in my saved list. Other than that, guys, we will see you Saturday night for Live Intuitive Oracle. Not my circus, not my monkeys, but I definitely know the clowns. I didn't see that one yet.
Yeah, I'm trying to. There's another one with you, and I'm having a hard time finding it. So I'll send them to you. They're on your. I did send them over to you. You just gotta okay.
All right, cool. Yes, Miss Paranormal Pixie will be, Lord willing, streaming on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Ghost Dragons, what are your times again?
10 on Wednesday, 10 to midnight. That's why I say 10 to midnight, but it always goes over midnight. And then the days that you don't do oracles. So you're
this
doing
week
oracles,
it'll be Friday.
So Friday at midnight, we'll do Gemma's replay. And once again, I don't have a shut-off time. Last week, we got off at 3:30 in the morning. So,
yeah, so there's always something to do on the channel. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just said check private chat before you leave.
Okay. In the description box of most videos, not usually the live streams, because the live streams, especially Oracle, I have to have like a major long disclaimer. So I can't fit a lot. But in the regular videos, you will find the tentative usual schedule for the channel. On weeks that I visit my mom, it changes. And Oracle's on Saturday instead of Friday at the exact same time. But I haven't been going by her as much just because she's moving. And also I want to kind of keep it simple. I do always try to update you guys with a short. It'll say updates for the week of whatever, the day is. And it'll tell you when live Oracle is, because a lot of you are not getting notifications. Roger Blair, Miranda Lambert, and Taylor Swift. Yeah, I've got I've got some more coming, guys. I'm glad you guys are giving me that feedback and that encouragement, because again, they make me nervous. I feel like
Almost Slipknot.
well, there's going to be some dancing coming soon, because I have a lot of pretty outfits. So we're going to be doing some dancing soon. Nothing crazy, maybe a little spiritual shake to get y'all moving. And that's about it. I've got to go. I've got a lot of writing to do. I'm working on the companion book, and I'm working on book 5, Campfire Stories, which is going to be a series. And it's going to be like 30 stories per book. So it's going to be like probably between like $3 and $5 for the book, because it's just getting it out there and getting sales up, bringing in revenue, and making that a series. But the series is going to connect to the channel, because I'm also going to be doing Campfire Stories with Gemma Jade, where I'm reading encounters from the book, other encounters, listener encounters, with all sorts of extraterrestrial, otherworldly, paranormal, cryptozoological, whatever, supernatural stuff. And that is coming in the next few weeks. I've just got to look at my schedule, figure out where we're going to fit it in. Miss Pixie, I normally tell you guys on Wednesday if she's streaming or not. She's telling us now, as long as everything goes smoothly this week, she will be there Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, and I will check it. Thank you, because that actually reminds me, I have to check my email. You can always ramble to me, guys. I never, ever mind. If you have my number, text me. Love you guys. I gotta go.
Because I was going to remind her. I will let her go. Have fun, folks.
Bye, guys.
Have a wonderful one.